If you've watched some of my other videos, you know you should buy your souvenirs in Athens and not on the islands where everything is much more expensive. There are two exceptions to that rule: wine in Santorini and wine and olive oil in Crete, because you won't find Santorinian and Cretan products that easily in Athens. So if you go on a wine or olive oil tour on one of these islands and there's something you really like, buy it there, because you probably won't find it in Athens. All right, so now where in Athens should you go for souvenir shopping? Well, there's these two streets starting from Monastiraki Square called Pandrosou and Iphestu, and they are full of souvenir shops. So here we are on Monastiraki Square. The Acropolis is there in the back. On the left-hand side, we have Pandrosou Street, and to the right, that's Iphestu Street, also nicknamed the Flea Market Street, in case you've heard of it. And this is what these streets look like. All sorts of souvenir shops, so whatever you're looking for, you should find it there. Now, there are 6 shops that stand out, in my opinion, because they're a bit more local and traditional. The first one is Melissinos Sandals, for handmade leather sandals. Either you get a pair that's already made, or they take your measurements and then you come back a few hours later to get your tailored sandals. Very nice shop. Another place I recommend is the Rounaris shop, specialized in backgammon sets. Greeks are crazy about backgammon, so this is a very traditional souvenir to bring back. And then just to the right of Rounaris, there's this shop with all sorts of food items. Olive oil, of course, honey as well, which is really big in Greece, all sorts of local spirits and liquors, and herbs and spices that Greeks cook with. And just so you know, they're pretty clever because they're also selling suitcases. So if you run out of space and you can't buy more souvenirs and that makes you sad, no worries, you can buy an additional bag there and you have plenty of space once again. Oh, and by the way, in case you didn't know, I'm a tour guide in Athens, so if you want me to show you around, including the Flea Market Street, this is my Instagram page. All right, next we have the Samuelian music store. In case you want to get yourself a Greek traditional instrument like a bouzouki, a baglamas, an outi, or a Cretan lyra, for instance. And they ship these instruments as well to many countries, so you don't have to find a way to make it fit in your suitcase, don't worry. And by the way, I'm going to leave the links down below to all these places on Google Maps so that you can find them more easily. Next, there's the Olive Land shop, selling all sorts of items made from Greek olive wood. And it's all made by hand, so this is a very traditional shop. If you're into sports, all 3 football teams of Athens have their official shop in these streets as well, where you can get all their merch. And in case you don't know what the 3 teams of Athens are, it's Olympiakos in red and white, Panathinaikos in green and white, and AEK in yellow and black. All right, that was for the flea market streets. Now, where else in Athens can you get some quality souvenirs? Well, I highly recommend the Thissio Flea Market, located 5 minutes away from Monastiraki Square. There you can find all sorts of handcrafted items, mostly jewelry, but also some decoration items. And the guy at the stand is probably the one who actually made all of these things. So it's a more human approach than most of the shops I mentioned earlier in this video. Another place you could consider when it comes to buying souvenirs is this Alphavita supermarket. It looks pretty small from the outside, but it's actually pretty big, and everything is much cheaper there than in the souvenir shops because this is a supermarket. It's a place where Greeks actually go and buy their own groceries. So if you want to get some olive oil, for instance, or some wine, that's where you can find the best deals by far. The supermarket is located just next to the Kapnikarea Church, which is halfway between Monastiraki Square and Sidama Square. I'm going to leave the Google Maps link for that one down below as well. And by the way, in case you're wondering whether it's legal to bring organic products back to your country, like olive oil, like honey, like herbs, the answer is yes, it is allowed, but most countries require you to declare those at the customs, and so I recommend you keep the receipt of where you bought it from in order to show it at the customs, and then you won't have any issues. Now, what if you don't have enough space in your bags to buy stuff when in Greece, and you also don't want to buy an extra suitcase, and you'd rather buy all these souvenirs online and have them shipped to your house directly? Well, I'm going to leave a series of Amazon affiliate links below the video for different items that are, in my opinion, proper traditional Greek products made in Greece. The first link will be for olive oil, and not just any Greek olive oil. In order to be labeled extra virgin, any olive oil needs to have its acidity below 0.8%. That's the rule that all EU countries have adopted to ensure high standards. Now, acidity appears during the extraction process, and the more the olives are exposed to air and heat, the more the acidity level will increase, which is not good. The olive oil will taste less good, and it will also contain way less polyphenols, which are these very healthy antioxidants that olive oil has. Now, since the limit is set as 0.8% in Europe, most producers aim at having oil around 0.75, so that they're just within the tolerated range to be labeled extra virgin, and that their production process can be a bit cheaper. But of course, producers could make even better olive oil by enhancing their production process and drop that acidity level even lower to make something that could be called super extra virgin olive oil, which would taste even better and would be even healthier than the regular extra virgin olive oil. Well, this one, that's exactly the one I'm putting down below. It's a 0.5, which is really rare to find in Greece or anywhere in the world. So if you want to try something very, very special, you know where to find it. All right, apart from olive oil, I'm also leaving a link for a jar of Greek thyme honey, which Greeks love so much, a fig jam, hugely popular in Greece, Greek coffee, which is very different from espresso coffee. I'm going to make a video soon explaining what's the difference. A briki, which is this copper container which is needed to make Greek coffee. Coffee cups, which by the way are very popular in Turkey as well, so don't be surprised if you see some Turkish elements in the name of the product. A replica of the statue of Athena Promachos, which used to stand on the Acropolis. It was a gigantic bronze sculpture. Now, my girlfriend made me swear not to include any Greek statues in this video because she finds them a bit tacky and cliche, but I'm sure some of you would like to get like a tiny statue at home, and if that's your case, well, I would go for Athena Promachos because it's kind of the most iconic statue of ancient Greece. I'm also going to leave a link for a backgammon set handmade in Greece, and some olive oil soap, which is a pretty big thing in Greece as well. Regarding wine, it can't be Amazon because Amazon doesn't sell alcohol. So I'm going to link another link down below to the website that all Greeks use to buy their wine online, including the amazing wines from Santorini, which are so hard to get your hands on because of their very limited quantities. Now, they're currently only shipping inside of Europe, but they told me that they're in the process of expanding that to more parts of the world. So if you're watching this video in a few months or in a few years, they might have already started. And in case you have no idea what wines to order on that website, well, you should watch this video where I explain all the basics of Greek wines, so it should help you decide on what you want to order. And for the excellent e-bike tour in Athens, you can watch this one. And there you go. That's it for today. Hope you liked it. See you in the next one. Bye.